Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy E2 Blue coming back at you again. And as we sit here and we wait for training camp to commence, this time that we're waiting, I know it sucks, but you know, we this is the time that we have, and enjoy the weather, enjoy the summertime. I love this time of year. First of all, I know I always say that, but I do. Especially coming out here in my backyard. I was out here cutting the grass this today. I got a big yard, so I kind of break it up. So I took a little break or whatever just to talk to you. I got a little bit more to go in the back here, but I don't know if you guys remember me saying in other videos, but like directly behind my house right here, I have a on the other side of my fence. It's a parking lot, and right after that parking lot, there's a swimming racket club. So it's a community swimming pool. So there's always people there having fun in the summertime. It's music. You hear people swimming and yelling and things like that. So just the sights and sounds that goes on. So this coming week is 4th of July. So you guys that are celebrating 4th of July, be safe. Um, don't be Jason Pierre Paul. Anyway, I know. I'm sorry. Too soon. Too soon. Uh, those of you guys that seen my live stream when I was at Mark's house when we did our fireside chat, thanks for checking that out. We basically were just talking about positions and stuff and what we thought those positions were going to do, who was going to make the roster, how things shape out, blase blase. Also, check out Mark Holmes' channel and I know you guys already did. Speaking to the choir. Um, when we did the live stream before that at his house, and it was me, him, Vosh Lombardi, Michael Anthony Fitness, and DMV Dallas Cowboys, and we were just being guys. And you know me, I'm a character, I'm crazy. That's just the way I am. You either like it or not. Now, with this video, just like the last regular video I did, I'm going over a series right now where I'm talking about different players that not necessarily people are not talking about, but players on this roster that are new to the team that um, could potentially make the team, or are they camp bodies or whatever have you. Now, the guy that I'm talking about today, we know it ain't no camp body. I know about 90% sure he's gonna make this roster. But some of the guys I talk about are guys that are bubble guys. Like the last video I did, if you guys watched that. Thanks a lot. If you didn't, go ahead and check it out. Cody McElroy. I spoke a little bit about him, about his transition from playing baseball to basketball to football at Southeastern Oklahoma State, which I didn't even know was a school. I had to go Google that and look it up. It was crazy. He played there. I think he played like 7 or 9 games or whatever, and then uh, that one season, and then became an undrafted player in the NFL. Now, today I want to talk about Kerry Hyder. Now, I know we spoke about Kerry Hyder a little bit at Mark's house on his live stream, but he's a guy that we got a free agency from the Lions. Now, I don't know if you guys noticed, but in 2014, he was actually a 30 visit for the Dallas Cowboys. Now, he was a 30 visit, and he came to visit the Cowboys when they were at the old headquarters at Valley Ranch. A lot of the guys that play on the team right now have never even been to Valley Ranch. They've only ever seen the Star of Frisco. Valley Ranch was a historical. I mean, I actually got to see the old headquarters. I never been to the new facility yet. I still got to go check that out. Jerry Jones wouldn't let us see it for the draft because it was draft time. So he had all his focus on the stadium, so he didn't have people come visiting the Star at that time. But um, yeah, but Kerry Hyder, like he actually was a 30 visit to Valley Ranch, and a lot of guys on the team never seen that place. So I just thought that was kind of interesting. But he was a 30 visit, but he was an undrafted free agent. He spent his rookie year on the Jets practice squad, and then from there, the Lions picked him up. Now, he had a fairly decent career with them. I mean, I guess he was there throughout his rookie contract. Um, when his contract was up, they didn't re-sign him. He had a lot of injuries. Now, 2016 was the one and only big year that he had. Now, he only started 2 games, but he was a rotational player, and he had 8 sacks 8 sacks as a rotational player when he played with the Lions. Now they changed their scheme because he's a natural defensive end. They changed their scheme over there. He had to get kicked into the inside into as a three technique, playing as a defensive tackle. Now they had to move him inside, and that's not his natural position. Now he has position flex. He can play on the inside. He can, but he has more confidence being a defensive end because he has some nice sharp pass rushing moves, and he belongs on the end. He doesn't belong on the defensive tackle. He belongs on the end. Now, fast forward to now. After 2016, he had all those sacks, and he looked like a player that was going to break out. Very next year, he caught injuries, and so when his contract was up, the Lions never re-signed him. From there, Dallas Cowboys took a look at him this offseason, signed him this offseason of free agency, and a lot of people forgot about him. Now I look at it like this: he's definitely not a forgotten guy. He's all he did was come in there in OTAs and mini camp, and he's impressed Rod Marinelli and those guys because he came in there and he is disruptive for the starters on the offense. He is disruptive, definitely disruptive on the backups on the offense, and the Cowboys are like, okay, well, if defensive end is your natural position and that's where you're comfortable at, and we practice you at the defensive end position in practice, and you're doing well at that, why not? So the Cowboys are going to finally do the right thing by a player, unlike Byron Jones and who's the other player? Anthony Hitchens. Remember when we had Anthony Hitchens? They had him playing all three linebacker positions, just messing up players' stuff. But anyway, the fact of the matter that they see Kerry Hyder as a traditional, phenomenal defensive end when he plays, and the type of grit that he has at that position, says a lot right now. It says that they're trying to win because they're listening instead of just being stubborn and like, oh, well, we're the Cowboys. We're going to do what the hell we want to do. So I like what they're doing in that aspect. So with that being said, I look at Kerry Hyder as definitely going to be one of these guys that's going to be jockeying and competing for a roster spot. Now, it's interesting because you look at all the guys that the Cowboys got that are new to this team. Remember, they drafted Joe Jackson, they drafted Jalen Jokes, and they got Daniel Wise as an undrafted free agent. Now, let's not forget about these other guys as well. These younger guys could jock for position and try to make this roster either via the 53 or the practice squad. But we know that Kerry Hyder, as a veteran player, he's going to make this roster. But I just look at it, makes me happy when I see these guys, videotaping these guys in practice, and they're wreaking havoc and they're doing certain things. Granted, I know that they're not in pads yet and things of this nature. We haven't seen them in a preseason game, but just give it time. We'll see it. And the training camp is coming up, so they're gonna be butting heads. There's gonna be a lot of stuff going on. As Nate Newton likes to say, a big body banging, baby, and that's what it's gonna be. Now, I like what I see. Let me know what you guys think in the comment box about Kerry Hyder. But when I look at this guy, I look at a guy that definitely is gonna play his way on this team. Now, right now, he's number 51. I think that was Kyle Wilber's number when he was with the Cowboys, but because all the 90s are taken up right now. Now, we don't know what's going to happen with, speaking of 90s number quarterbacks, number 94, Randy Gregory. We don't know what's going to happen with Randy Gregory pending his suspension. We don't know if the league is going to allow him to play this year. They're kind of waiting on that. Rico Gathers got a year, even though he's a tight end, it's their position. But still, these are the suspensions that they affect the roster, is what I'm saying. You got DeMarcus Lawrence dealing with his injury. Antoine Woods dealing with his injury. You got guys trying to come back from their injuries. And then you got Taco also coming back from an injury. Malik Collins. All of these guys are coming back from injuries. And the fact that they're playing these younger guys in practice is giving them the chance to play with the big dogs and play with the ones. You play with the ones and you do well against the ones, the coaches are going to turn their heads. They're going to be looking at you. So I say that, all it's doing right now is helping him. Remember, we got Dorrance Armstrong. You still got Taco. Who's going to make it? Who's going to get cut? Now, this defensive line is going to be really hard to break down because there's a lot of talent right now on this defensive line as a whole. And I'm loving between the defensive tackles, defensive end. I mean, it shows that the Cowboys went out and they got the right type of players that Jason Garrett talks about. The right type of players. And again, when you look at the right type of players, everybody's like, he's always saying the right type of players. When you say the right type of players, these players are hungry and they're coming in here wanting to learn. They're coming in here about the team. They're not about themselves. You know what I mean? So they are out here working and they're doing the things that they can do to try to better this team. This team is trying to go to the Super Bowl, and you could tell that they ain't playing right now. They getting rid of dead weight that they don't want, and they're hiring, they're signing the guys that want to be here, and I can't do nothing but respect that. So as you look at these injuries, and oh yeah, also too, I forgot Tyrone Crawford. What's going to happen with Tyrone Crawford? Is the NFL going to suspend him as well? Everything is up in the air. So if these guys are suspended, there's going to be some other guys that make the team that otherwise would not have. But we'll see. We'll definitely see about it. But Kerry Hyder, he's my X factor, and of course Christian Covington that we got from the Texans this offseason as well. Another guy. I'm not gonna do a video on him because I already did when he got signed. So guys could go back and look at that one. Back earlier in the offseason, I did a video on Christian Covington when he got signed. So I talked about him a little bit. So I'm not gonna do another video on him. I'm doing it on Kerry Hyder because he's definitely a guy that I noticed that people really aren't talking about. But when Mark started talking about him, it gave me the idea to do a video about it. So it's gonna be more of this series coming right now. So I'm trying to get all of these done before training camp starts, so you guys have consistent content and stuff like that. So just going over these guys, talking about the different guys. And I think it's about 30 some odd players that are new or something like that. There's a good number of players that some of them are, like I said, some of them I'm going to talk about are not going to make the team. They're going to be some that are definitely guys that are going to make the team. But again, it's the Dallas Cowboys. You never know what's going to happen. But I tell Mark and the boys all the time, injuries sometimes when you look at a position of strength, sometimes you don't know who to pick or who to let go. Sometimes the injuries work themselves out. You look at this wide receivers core. It's the same thing. It's a lot of guys trying to play for a certain amount of spots. So, like I said, in the comment section, let me know what you think about Kerry Hyder. Thanks again to all my subscribers. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit that like button. And subscribe to the channel, y'all. It's your boy E2 Blue, always keeping it real. I'll talk to y'all soon. Y'all have a great Sunday.